Somewhere out there, in the digital noise of the modern world, people are broadcasting every single financial milestone like it is an official press release. They flaunt their assets, display their purchases, and post their success for anyone with an internet connection to see. But beneath this loud exhibition, a quiet group is operating on a far more strategic, calculated level. They are building substantial, life-changing wealth in total silence, and absolutely nobody in their immediate circle has any idea. If you choose to follow this path until the very end of this narrative, you will unlock the hidden architectural blueprint of true economic sovereignty, transforming how you navigate the global system while others remain trapped in financial compliance. If you are someone who strictly keeps your financial life private, even from those closest to you, you have likely been labeled as secretive, guarded, or perhaps completely selfish. But according to deep behavioral insights, this behavior is not a flaw in your moral character at all. It is your nervous system running an extraordinarily sophisticated protection protocol that most people around you do not even have the cognitive capacity to activate. This is a precision-engineered calibration of how the human brain processes systemic threat, social trust, and long-term existential survival. The underlying neurological science behind this quiet autonomy is both profound and unsettling. To truly understand this dynamic, we must observe how the brain handles financial validation in the year 2026. The average individual experiences money purely as a social currency to buy visibility and validation from the collective tribe. This feeling triggers a massive release of dopamine within the nucleus accumbens, which serves as the primary reward center of the human brain. Every time someone signals their status, shares their income, or discusses a recent financial promotion, they receive a temporary chemical high. It is an addictive loop of public performance that keeps the masses dependent on external approval. However, for the silent wealth builders, the neural architecture looks completely different. Neurological research from the year 2021 published in the Journal of Behavioral Economics reveals that individuals who maintain financial privacy exhibit highly elevated activity in the insula. The insula acts as the internal alarm system of the human brain, regulating risk perception and deep survival signals. In these individuals, the prefrontal cortex remains heavily engaged, prioritizing long-term impulse control over short-term social rewards. Their system does not seek the cheap dopamine of public praise, finding gratification only when the entire financial network is completely secure and uncompromised. Most of society operates on what psychologists define as tribal financial behavior, where choices are dictated entirely by social comparison. People spend money they do not have to buy things they do not need, all to look important to a crowd they do not even like. This is biological compliance masquerading as personal freedom. The quiet wealth builders have completely broken this cycle by operating from a position of absolute individualistic autonomy. They do not need a dinner table audience to validate their net worth, nor do they participate in the status games of the collective herd. This intense privacy is often misread by outsiders as emotional coldness or detachment, but that is a fundamental misunderstanding of their psychological allocation. Their emotional energy is not missing. It is being strategically redirected away from public performance and into long-term systemic durability. Behavioral studies indicate that individuals with high financial privacy invest their bandwidth into generational security and the quiet protection of those they deeply care about. They are not withholding support from their loved ones. They are silently ensuring that their family will never have to face economic vulnerability in an unstable world. For many, this calculated strategy began as a necessary psychological survival mechanism during childhood, perhaps during the economic downturn of the year 2008. They may have witnessed intense family conflicts over money, or watched a parent trust the wrong person only to be financially exploited. These early, painful experiences create an unconscious money script that permanently rewired their nervous system to view exposure as danger. Transforming a past financial wound into impenetrable armor is one of the most intelligent adaptations a human brain can perform. Ultimately, you must realize that you are playing a fundamentally different game where the scoreboard is visible to no one but yourself. While the crowd optimizes for immediate validation, you are optimizing for permanent, unshakable durability. The modern world will continue to reward the loudest performers, but history and compound interest will always favor the quiet operators. You are not lagging behind anyone, you are simply building your empire where nobody is watching. As the lifestyle gap widens, the people around you may begin to notice the mismatch and ask dangerous questions, shifting the battle to a completely new psychological front.